The Indiana Fever are getting destroyed.
With the 10th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Raven Johnson.
People are furious.
Fire the front office. Y'all some straight up BS.
Raven Johnson will be a cancer in the locker room.
What if Caitlin Clark gets injured?
CC needs to get the hell out of Indiana.
This just broke, and the backlash is already spreading fast across the entire WNBA scene. The Indiana Fever have made a surprising roster move that no one expected, and fans are now all asking the same thing. What is going on with Caitlin Clark? Because with the 10th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Fever selected Raven Johnson, and the reaction was instant chaos.
Johnson claimed on I Am Athlete podcast that Caitlin Clark fans directed racial slurs like monkey at her online after Clark waved her off in the 2023 NCAA Final Four game, prompting widespread skepticism and labels of unsubstantiated allegations or race hopes from critics.
I mean, that's a racial slur.
Why does it automatically gotta be Caitlin Clark fans? It's just ridiculous.
The second the pick was announced, it didn't come across as a celebration. It felt more like pure shock.
You picked Raven Johnson? Are you kidding me?
They don't know what they're doing. They're incapable of making sound decisions.
Even analysts and fans watching live were left stunned, struggling to process what had just happened. This wasn't just an unexpected draft choice. It immediately sparked outrage, confusion, and accusations that the franchise is no longer aligned with its biggest star.
GM Amber Cox was quoted as saying this: Raven is somebody that we thought would probably go in the top 4 or 5. Fire Amber Cox. What are you talking about?
Just had to draft a race-baiting social justice warrior, just sabotaging Caitlin Clark at this point. It's as clear as day. The W is just trying to keep Caitlin Clark from replacing Taurasi and Bird in the record books.
And honestly, when you've got a once-in-a-generation talent like Caitlin Clark, every decision is expected to be about supporting her, protecting her, and helping her reach the next level. But instead, many fans feel the Fever have done the complete opposite.
You drafted drama into your locker room that is pointed directly in the direction of the biggest star in the sport.
This makes no sense. That's the exact phrase echoing across reactions everywhere. From a basketball perspective, people are genuinely struggling to understand or justify this decision.
Raven Johnson's fans are attacking Fever fans that aren't happy. The WNBA and the Indiana Fever were not prepared for the biggest star in the sport to arrive. They haven't learned a lot.
The Fever already have a deep guard rotation. They already have ball handlers and players who rely on significant minutes. So the question fans are asking is simple: why bring in another 5 feet 9 inches guard?
You thought Raven Johnson would potentially go before AZ Fudd or Olivia Miles or Lauren Betts or an Iowa fan. When? Where? What are you talking about?
And it's not just any guard. Critics are calling her a defense-first player with limited offensive upside and an inconsistent shooting game. A lot of reactions are pointing to the same concerns. She doesn't really space the floor, she doesn't address the team size issue, and she doesn't solve any major roster gaps. In fact, the Fever already struggle with length compared to top WNBA teams that rely on size and versatility. So instead of adding more height, shooting, or frontcourt depth, the move ended up bringing in yet another undersized guard.
Burn this front office. You guys are stupid. Treat your team as a rehab for other losers. What the actual F is happening? The whole front office got to go at this point.
Bree Hall averaged 5.8 points per game, and the Fever drafted her last year. Then they come back this year, and they draft another South Carolina guard who averaged 5.6 points for her career. Back-to-back years, you draft South Carolina guards who averaged 5.8 and 5.6 points a game.
And then it gets even more controversial because this isn't just about basketball anymore. It shifts into a much more serious conversation. Just weeks before the draft, Raven Johnson made remarks that sparked backlash. Those comments brought Caitlin Clark fans into the discussion, tying them to allegations of online harassment and racial abuse following that well-known college moment when Clark waved her off during a game.
She said this about Caitlin Clark fans.
Caitlin Clark, left side. She doesn't even look at her, waves her hand as if to say, I don't care about you.
That's one reason I hate the internet now. Because of that situation, like I got bashed, I got bullied, I got called all these things that I wasn't, aka like a monkey or
That moment dates back to the NCAA tournament, when Clark, in a highly competitive exchange, challenged Johnson to take the shot. It quickly became one of the most discussed clips in women's basketball, and clearly, it still hasn't been forgotten. Johnson later admitted the experience hit her hard, explaining that the online reaction made her feel overwhelmed and even led her to consider walking away from the sport. And here's where the controversy deepens. Fans haven't moved on from those comments. Now, the Fever have added that same player into the same locker room as Caitlin Clark.
The same Raven Johnson that was out pushing up race narrative versus Caitlin Clark fans just a couple weeks ago. This front office is a straight up joke and a travesty.
And while that may sound like an extreme take, it's important to understand why people are reacting this way. Caitlin Clark isn't viewed as just another player. She's the face of the franchise, the biggest attraction in women's basketball, and arguably the most influential player in the WNBA right now. Because of that, every decision the Fever make is judged through a single question. Does this help Caitlin Clark win? Right now, a lot of fans feel the answer is no. From a purely basketball standpoint, the concerns remain even without the off-court noise. The biggest question is simple. Where does Raven Johnson actually fit? The offense already runs heavily through Clark. The roster already has multiple guards competing for playing time, while the bigger need is size and front court strength. So adding another guard who needs the ball isn't a consistent outside threat and doesn't address those core weaknesses, only raises more questions. It risks creating a backcourt logjam, reducing clarity in roles, and potentially building frustration. And around a star like Clark, the last thing a team wants is confusion over touches, roles, and responsibilities.
Raven Johnson gaslighting everybody into believing Caitlin Clark fans bullied her.
And then another adversity would probably be Caitlin Clark.
Look at how far Caitlin Clark is playing off of Raven Johnson. Caitlin Clark, left side. She doesn't even look at her, waves her hand as if to say, I don't care about you. I'm not defending you.
That's one reason I hate the internet now. Because of that situation, like I got bashed, I got bullied, I got called all these things that I wasn't, aka like a monkey or this, I don't know, like it was just things like that. And I just think I wanted to quit basketball at that time. And I wanted to just go in this little bubble of isolation and just be by myself. And I think, you know, I leaned on God. I've had some wonderful teammates, wonderful people in my life, like I said, and they helped me find that light, and it put so much fuel to the fire for me to go back the next year, and we went undefeated and met that team again, and we beat them. So I think it was all God.
The concern now is whether Raven Johnson will fit alongside Caitlin Clark, especially given their past competitive history and the current roster already crowded with guards. Some fans worry this could create chemistry issues, confusion over roles, and even on-court tension if Clark isn't consistently prioritized. While Johnson has supporters who see her as a solid defensive role player, many believe the Fever missed a chance to address bigger needs like size and shooting. Overall, critics argue this move feels poorly timed and not fully aligned with building around Clark, raising questions about the team's direction and long-term vision.
Y'all are an effing joke. A small guard, 5'9", really? Not to mention she's a big-time CC hater. She won't ever pass the ball to CC. This is sabotaging for CC 100%.
A 5'9" defender that can't shoot and plays a position where there are no minutes available. Nice.
Fans are now calling it locker room chaos waiting to happen, and the reaction online has been anything but mild. It's been explosive. A lot of people are accusing the front office of ignoring team chemistry and unnecessarily stirring up drama by bringing in a player already tied to controversy involving Caitlin Clark. Some fans have even taken it further, suggesting it feels like intentional sabotage. That's how heated the discussion has become. From their point of view, there were cleaner draft options available, players who might have been better fits, better shooters, and clearer answers to roster needs. Instead, they see a pick that adds more tension than solutions, especially given the history connected to the franchise's biggest star. And now a growing narrative is forming online, with some even questioning whether this signals a deeper issue inside the organization involving Caitlin Clark's future.